Hey y'all, welcome back to the 2 Became 1 podcast. My name is Destiny Williams.
And I'm your co-host Cortez Williams.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, you just got back from
LA.
LA. How was
Yep.
that?
Good trip.
Good trip?
Yep. Business was okay. Had a few opportunities, to be able to talk about God with people in my line of work. So
Okay.
that was very interesting. And um, what's crazy is that you never realize how many people are watching or listening to like what you're doing. So I had a chance to talk to one guy about because so many people are surprised that like I'm only 25 years old
Mm-hmm.
and that I am married. So
Mm-hmm.
um, basically, and I've been married for 2 years. So when I told him that, he was like shocked. So then we like kept on walking or doing what he was doing, but then he came back and walked past my booth, and then he was like, "That's crazy. You've been married for 2 years. Like he's going on his 10-year anniversary."
Oh wow.
I was like, "Praise God! Like keep going." And he was just like, what was he talking about? Oh, he was just saying like it's been a struggle, but like he's doing better because he's not, doing any of the wrong stuff he used to do. And I was just telling him like, yeah, like, um, we got to cut all the, extra stuff out. Like we got to be fully dedicated, fully 100% all in to be able to get the best results. And
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to like marriages and different things like that, we got to be, all in with our marriages. And telling him like, yes, I know when we on the road, like so many people, like a lot of people probably get temptations, but you got to be focused in doing what you're doing. Like when other people go do certain stuff, you don't go do those things or even put yourself in those atmospheres. Because once you put yourself in those atmospheres, all it takes is a little push to, what I'm saying, that could take somebody overboard. So, I was just talking to him about that. And then I got to talk to a couple of the other vendors. Well, I was talking to one other vendor like earlier because people was like, day one was slower in LA and everybody was like telling me like, bro, like, what I'm saying? It was a bad day yesterday. I was like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Today gonna be better. That's what my wife texted me. She said tomorrow gonna be better, and she ain't lied to me yet. Hopefully, I'm just messing. So I was just like, today gonna be better. Like, um, sometimes when we have like better days than what we expected, we don't stop and be like, hold up, let me get y'all some money back. You know what I'm saying? So when we don't have the days that we do expect, it's part of the game. But with that being said, it was one guy who was like, his table was across from my booth on the second day, and he came up and talking to me, and he was like, bro, like you really encouraged me, um, like, bro, I was down. Like, I didn't sell any shoes yesterday. It was very slow for me, very hard. And I was just like, oh, dang, like that's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. And just to be appreciative of for what you got, while at the same time, like, okay, Tez, like, like people are listening to what you're saying and what you're doing. And I was just telling him, like, it's okay. Like, let's do better today. Let's have a different outlook on it. Let's be positive. And he was like, just by hearing me talking to the other person and gave him encouragement. And I'm just glad and I'm thankful that I was always, as we say, oh, what was that saying? I like that saying. It was like I was always like 100% in, and I was always being myself. I was always being Cortez who believed, Cortez who's following after Christ. That by me just being who I am and
Mm-hmm.
Christ being in me, somebody else life, you know what I'm saying, it made a difference for him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and like one thing people don't understand is like people out there trying to work to feed their family. So stuff don't go the way you expect. Like things can get really rough. So, um, I was glad that I was able to have, some encouragement for him and, that he can, just go in the right direction. So
Mm.
that's
Oh,
how my weekend went.
okay. Okay.
How about yours?
Um, it was straight, not just me and Courtney chilling until Daddy came home. But no, I did. What else did I have to do? It was all different types of stuff that
Yeah.
we did. Like we went and supported one of the ladies that I do Bible study with, her pop-up shop and all that.
Okay.
But I want to something that you had said when you were talking. I was like, that's good. Like being all in for, like, I know you were talking about being all in for, like, like you were talking about the guy in, like, in his business and all that. And, like,
Well, I was saying like me being all in for
okay.
God, like
Okay.
at all times. So
No, definitely. And so I just want to ask you, I know we kind of put it on you, but I want you to start it off since you like said it, because I was like, all in. What does that look like for you to be all in for?
Well, all in can mean a lot of different things, especially when it comes to personal, well, spiritual, and then, like business and then personal. So like for me, being all in means first off, spiritually, making sure I'm serving God at all times, regardless of what the world may bring, so like I gotta stay dedicated and focused even when I might not feel like it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So, or even when sometimes like that crowd starts to get loud, you know what I'm saying? So, what I mean by all in, I gotta be locked in and focused at all times, like, because one thing about the devil is like, he's always tempting, he's always out there, just trying to get you to fail. Like with just one little minor slip up, like, oh, he might not have got you to slip up here, but he'll get you to slip up here. Like all he needs is for you to give him just a little bit more wiggle room. And then when we go to like moving on, like to my personal life, just being all in for my family, everything that I'm doing, like, even when I'm going out to work, like making sure, like, what am I doing this for? So like for me, just being all in is just giving it my all 24/7. Sometimes we get tired, sometimes we get, as you would say, weary. But even in the Bible, it say, don't get weary in well doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to make sure that I'm not getting weary in doing what I'm supposed to do. And, God is going to give the results that I need, give me the results that I need. I just got to be diligent in doing what I'm doing. So I got to stay focused, stay diligent, and stay persistent, stay proactive, you know what I'm saying? And not reactive all the time, But sometimes it is good to be reactive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, explain.
Explain. So, for example, like sometimes in situations, you need to be able to listen first. Like being proactive is, you know what I'm saying? Definitely stay ahead of the curve. But it's in some situations that you need to be, I don't know necessarily if it is reactive, but I want to say like you need to listen first and understand how a situation is going to play out so you know what to do. Like definitely just like in life, like sometimes we like, what does it say in the Bible? It say be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Yeah.
And just by that, like speaking don't just mean by talking, but like even by your actions and what you're doing. So sometimes like for me, like in business, like it's so hard because you want things to always go a certain way. You want to like, oh, I got this plan needs to go like this. But like even like I learned this weekend, okay, Tess, things are not going how I want to go. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Let me evaluate the situation. So now I'm letting some of the situation happen. Now I'm being reactive to it to be like, okay, boom, I'm getting led in a different direction. So like this weekend in LA wasn't the best business wise when it comes to monetary or like profit wise, it was bad that way, but it was also very good weekend when it comes to connections and different things like that. Just meeting some of the people that I haven't met that even be at SneakerCon, or like just in my line of work, and I got to be able to grow um, by network side of things. You know what I'm saying? Because when business is good, I don't have time to really lead a booth, so I can't do the networking.
Yeah.
But now I got the booth was slow. I got a chance to network, so but it also can help me for future to where we can have the booth doing good and we're networking. So you're able to grow on all different aspects. But this weekend I was, as I would say, reactive and watching and learning and seeing what the direction was to see some of the things I can add into our game plan So now when we go into our next event, we can be proactive and already get, doing things. So,
Mm.
I look at it, you always say I'm the person who looks at a lot of situations in the opposite light that I'm,
Yeah.
maybe supposed to at every time. So, but shout out to my parents for really, like teaching.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot that I get from like my mom. My mom is very like stuff don't phase her, until it get to the boiling point. But I learned, saying can't let everything phase you. And then like my dad, he really like put me on with um just understanding situations and really realizing that okay, maybe a situation or a person doesn't give you exactly what you need, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop dealing with people, like,
Mm.
okay, this is what they bring to the table. Okay, use them for this aspect or so that's for me is like, like I've been blessed so they didn't taught me to
Yeah.
be able to handle situations even when it might not be, as you would say, the best.
Mm. That's good because we kind of like I don't
What do you say?
I don't want to say opposite of, but like because it used to bother me like how stuff would happen and he'd be like it's okay, like don't. And I'm just like, no, like I feel like I'm justified in like being upset about this, or
Yeah,
like or like this is a situation like anybody would be upset
yeah.
about. But he always just had that like, it's okay, like life gonna happen. And
And
so like
that's most
even
definitely
yeah,
like life is gonna happen, and that's one thing like I always try to like tell you is like especially when you think you got this all planned out. Life gonna happen whether it's good or bad. Like what I mean by situations gonna happen that you didn't even expect, and it might be even better for you.
mhm,
But then there's gonna be situations that you didn't expect that might be hard for you. But at the same time, like we really gotta trust and believe. And I really feel like that's probably my biggest thing is I've been able to trust and believe in God, for a very, decent part of my life. So where I could just like, hey, it's in your hands, like
yeah,
whatever comes, or like just understanding that people have other situations going on in their life. Like some people do stuff without even knowing that they doing something like necessarily like wrong or maybe hurtful to you, or like somebody can, like, for example, we wake up this morning and just to say if you used to have an attitude at me, like, I could just, boom, snap back right back at you, but, or I could be like, well, what's going on? Like, is she not feeling well? Like, did something happen?
mhm,
Maybe you get a text from a cousin or something like that. So you already, like, people don't understand, like, how emotions affect people, So that's a big thing. But, like, for me, cool. It's cool.
yeah,
Like long as you ain't hurt my family or like hurt the ones I love, like people talk, like it's cool.
yeah,
You gotta let that stuff
yeah, no,
brush off your
definitely,
shoulders. Like
and that's
they was spitting at Jesus. Like what are we
yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
Like they was spitting at Jesus. So like they was treating him cruel. And he like, I'm doing my father's will. Do what you gotta do. Like
yeah,
it's cool.
yeah,
I'm doing this so that you might be saved. I'm like, dang, dude, like
yeah,
you cold with it. You cold with it. Like
um,
that's like the real tough or real like I say like OG move.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I thought about that before. I want to go back to something you had said before that, but I thought about that before too, like how even the people that was like beating Jesus, spitting on him, like
yeah,
the gospel was still gonna be for them.
yeah.
Like I was just like that's
Like you
that's
still like he was still doing for others while the others was persecuting him.
right.
So like he like, you know what, like I understand. And that's where like and not in every situation of my life. And I'm still, you know what I'm saying, growing and doing better, but that's where I am like, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even we have situations like now in life where it's like, it ain't going the best, you know what I'm saying? a lot of people might break or go crazy if dealing with this situation, but like God got a plan. Let me just trust and believe in Him.
Yeah.
He ain't. When I'm telling you, He ain't never failed me. Like
He
so,
never will.
He never will. So I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. Like, what you got for me? Okay, cool. It ain't okay. Maybe you know what I'm saying. Sometimes like, yeah, I can say a little something, but I ain't gotta go all too crazy on people. Like, God, just show me what's up, show me what's good. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And that's just and that's just like how oh no, let me go back to this first. You had said that sometimes like we have this, I might be paraphrasing, like we have this plan or idea of how something is gonna
Yeah,
go,
most definitely.
and then it doesn't go the way that you would think that it would go. I think we
Yeah.
talked about this in the episode before, but how you were saying, oh, I was thinking about your situation with LA, right? And so like you going out there and the goal is to like, okay, I'm about to go out here, we about to make make this
Yeah.
money, da da da, and sometimes it doesn't go the way that you would have planned it to go, but sometimes like you said, um, it might have gone a different way that was better. Like, let me explain because I butchered that.
No.
But like how God might have needed you, like even though the show wasn't good, but He might have needed you to talk to that one person where you were able to plant a seed,
Yeah.
where you were able to, you know what I mean?
Facts.
And like maybe that seed wasn't like he probably didn't come to Christ or anything, but the seed was planted, and I know you're gonna probably see him at another show, like and so it's like things that happen like that we have this plan of how we think it should go or how we want it to go, or you know and God is like, no, I'm gonna do it this way, or this is how I wanna do it. Like you may not see it or you may not understand it, or like why did that happen, why did it go that way.
Yeah.
But God, like he's like, no, you good, like that's like this is what I wanted
that's what I needed to happen. Like
right.
I think we was talking about, like, for example, it's just like we like construction workers, you know what I'm saying? Like we just like the guy tell us to break down this wall or the latest concrete, like we just do our job. But the head guy, he got all the the blueprints of basically like, all right, if they break down this wall, they building this over here. We're not gonna have a wall right here. We're gonna have this right here. It's gonna connect to this. So if everybody just do the piece they need to do, once I connect it together, now look at this $1 billion building. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what God like be on. He be like, so now like even when I be frustrated, like, or like for example, like me, especially like since we was talking about like LA, like after a bad day or like, like one thing people don't understand about business is like you got to put into a lot of money to even get to the place to try to make money back.
Yeah.
So like me, like when after the first day, I'm negative like crazy right now. But just because I'm negative, am I not still gonna go like maybe go to eat and be able to communicate with somebody or talk to people? No, like it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Tomorrow gonna be better. Or this weekend might not. Cool. God getting us ready for something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't be complaining when it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't complain when, you know what I'm saying, there's a little shaky.
Right.
As long as I got my firm foundation, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that kind of rhymed.
Yeah, like listen, this is what I think about all the time. Like we was on our way to Tennessee for our nationals.
Oh yeah.
And like because now I do fly a lot, but one of my friends was like, bro, like sometimes we done had some crazy turbulence, right? Like even on this plane ride, back from LA, it was like crazy turbulence. The one from our connecting flight in Dallas, like it was like plane shaking. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I be praying. I be like, Lord, listen, you better protect this plane. I'm on this plane. I'm your people. You know what I'm saying? If you got to, you better send your agents down to grab these wings and land it safely. But at the end of the day, I ever said like, listen, if a plane ever crashed that I was on, it's just gonna be one seat just sitting there peacefully. I'm gonna be still asleep. I'm gonna wake up like, what happened? Like, cause That's the faith and trust I have in God
No,
that
yeah.
like he gonna protect me at all times. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He really got me. So in all situations, like God really got me. Like, and I trust and I really do believe that. Like he really be riding for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he always come through for me. You know, I just gotta trust and believe him and do his will and do his work. Like
Yeah.
I ain't got no complaints.
That's good.
Straight like that.
Straight like that.
Straight like that.
And I also wanted to add too. I always laugh when he tell that story, but I also wanted to add too, like even in those situations,
Yeah.
like where it's not going the way that you were planning, or it's like let's just say you having a bad day, like stuff is just not. The day is daying, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I wanted to say, like don't miss. So sometimes we can be so caught up in like our day not going the way that we have
Most
planned it, or
definitely.
like our whatever we had planned is not going to according to plan.
That we
We can
miss
get
that.
so caught up in that we miss opportunities to
Yeah.
share, to maybe God is wanting to put us in a place, like regardless of how the day is going, maybe God is wanting to put us.
That's crazy what you just said.
Maybe God is wanting to put us in a place where we're able to minister, where we're able to share, where we're able to plant a seed. But if you're so caught up in how your day is not going the way that
Yeah.
it should be going, or this is not happening the way I wanted to, this is not happening the way I wanted to, like Lord, like why is this happening? But you're missing opportunities to be able to share, like I said. Because it's like, I was even thinking about the time when we were on, were you on the plane with me?
Wow.
When they had it stalled for a long time. And we was on the runway for like
Yeah.
forever, like
Yeah.
for hours, right?
You talking about when
It wasn't for hours. It
we was
wasn't
on
for
our
hours.
way back from Tennessee.
But
Yeah.
no, they had us on the plane for a long,
Yeah.
anyway, they had us on the plane for a long time. Like we didn't get off the plane for a while. Something had happened. But as we was on the plane, I'm thinking like, dang, like they really, I'm trying to get home.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like I was just like, so like this might not be equivalent to what I had just said before,
No,
but
I'm
I'm
listening.
thinking of how I felt in that moment. Like I want to go home. The plane is not on time. It's not on schedule. Like what's going on? Like what's happening? And I felt like I should have like got up and like just shared, like whether it was with one person or like
Mm.
sharing the gospel, or you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like
Mm.
you be seeing them videos where people be
Yeah.
standing up on the plane and like anyway. But I felt led to do that, but I was just so like caught up in like what was going on in that moment,
Yeah.
in the present moment, like this isn't happening the way that I wanted to. Like I want to get home, like but I missed that opportunity because I was so.
So we be sometimes so caught up in what we doing, but like what I think, what was you just saying? You said like, oh, this what I think about too is like, just think about if everything was just like perfect, smooth sailing, like life just green, like,
Mhm.
and just say we serving the Lord. No, cool, 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 right? But have you thought about like just through life, right? How that every moment that has been life changing or like you just go through the Bible, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like we start off with, Abraham, like you gotta leave your family to
Mhm.
become a like great nation. Like Jesus crucified to save everyone.
Mhm.
Um, like countless amount of times, like the Israelites was persecuted for Moses to rescue them. They was in slavery for him to rescue them. Uh, Joseph, Joseph had to go to prison to rise to be able to help out his family. Like
Mhm.
you guys gotta go through something. And this one thing I always tell people, like I tell people this: if it ain't hard, it ain't worth it.
Mhm.
Like you know what I'm saying? You gotta put in the grind. Like first off, y'all want to be saved? It takes work. You want to be in good shape? It takes work. You want to be good at computers? It takes work. You want to be good at anything, making toilet paper for all I care. For the person who came up with the design of toilet paper, you think they just said, oh, here you go. No, they had to find the right materials. Like the people who run toilet paper businesses are working each and every day to improve on toilet paper. trying to make the best prices or make the best quality. Like all these different types of things. Like if it ain't hard, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Like when I just say I just gave you $10,000 today, you just gonna spend it. No, I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, now what if you had to work a whole year for 10,000? You like, hold up now, like I didn't clean too many toilets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend this 10,000 wisely. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff is worth it when you put in a little work for it. And in our life, we gotta put in some work.
And that's true.
We gotta be active.
Mm-hmm. Gotta be active. There's like even what you like, yeah, like as a Christian, like yes, when you come into accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, believing that He did die on the cross for your sins, after that, it's not just like stuff is gonna happen, things are gonna come, and then also sanctification is a process. I don't know if that's because when you say it take work.
No, yeah, like I'm just saying, like even be like people don't understand, like it's so easy to be a sinner.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can just do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but denying your flesh and the
yes,
things that it does want, yeah.
like it takes
You
work.
gotta
Like
deny your flesh
like
daily.
anything,
Yes.
like even like people don't understand. You go to the army, like they give you discipline, give you structure, give you rules. Good parents give out structure and rules. If God is our Father, what did He do? Give us structure and rules. And to be good children, we need to obey those rules if we want to live long to finally become the parents to be able to help those same good rules go down to the next generation.
Yeah.
Like life is worth it because we're worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Life is worth it because
we're
worth
it. So like for example, you gotta put in work that's like worth. Work equals worth.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We gotta put in worth to be able to give worth. We gotta put in hard work to be able to give others the opportunity to even be able to work hard. You ain't thinking about it like that. So for example, right? Like if we don't work hard, Courtney would never get the opportunity to be able to work hard later in her life. Because she won't be able to make it there because we ain't do no work to be able to get her there.
We didn't lay the foundation.
We didn't lay no foundation.
Got you.
But you know what God did? He said, here go the foundation even before y'all was here. Dang, He working, so we gotta work. We want Him to work when we want to pray to Him, but we don't want to work when He just be like, hey, bro, just like live a good life for me. You know what I'm saying? Live a saved life. Like, hey, bro, listen, I just need you once or twice a day while you out, just say, hey, do you know Jesus? It could be something as simple as that. Or you could be like, hey, bro, like, I know you got a busy week. I know you're busy, but like, can you just cut the church grass? They be like, hey, bro, like, I just need you to do this or do that. Like, all these things we don't think about, like, God really thinking about. You feel me?
Because we so caught up in what we got going on or what's not going on or what, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
But God is needing us to do some things to be about our Father's business, And
we be about His business and
He'll be about yours.
He always about it. Like, and the crazy thing about it, He's like always about our business. But if our business align up with His business, then ain't we about our own business? You know what? I'm gonna stop dropping them like that.
I was going, but it's like it don't add up to what we're talking about anymore. It's okay. But no, definitely, that's good.
Oh, like like it's so different because especially at our age and different things like that, like so many people like wait so long to like realize like what we're here for. Like we here 24 and 25. Some people try to wait till they 45, 50 to really realize about life. Like, I don't know, for example, for any of our people who watching, you guys might watch TikTok or Facebook or whatever, and you might see those things like where they having them discussions where like how a lot of women want like certain things right now, and how a lot of men want certain things right now. Like so much of the stuff is so different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like so many people. One thing we gotta realize in life that it's not all about us.
Right.
Like, and I know this society is pushing us to be like, hey,
Me, me,
like
me.
me,
Self, self, self. Yeah.
like make sure how I feel, make sure like no, like that's not it. Like God didn't even do that.
Mm-mm.
Like God didn't even care about how he felt like when he lived his life on earth. Like he was up praying for you and me while some of the other, disciples were asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he even went above and beyond. Like he was fasting for us. He was denying his flesh at the time for us even now, and we don't even realize that his whole life was not about himself. His
Yeah.
whole life was about his father's business. So if we want to be like him, then our life can't be about ourselves either.
Come on.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
better say that.
So we gotta really like take that personal, that like
Yeah.
our life is not always about making our our flesh or our wants, the main
Mm.
priority.
My
And
life is not my. I'm sorry.
okay, but sing it, sing it. But I'm just saying, like, so many people, when we get that through our skulls and our brain,
Some
and really,
thick heads.
yeah, and really understand that, then we really can be able to start doing some
Come
work
on.
and doing some damage for the
Yeah.
kingdom, and to be able to grow to the next level.
Yeah.
But not like for like all the people who just be like, oh y'all, yeah, of course, just do. Like, do y'all not understand? Like, even with dealing with like your family, but like all of this stuff, like work, all this stuff. When you guys start being about other people's business, like, or
So
not being about their business, but being about like caring for others,
having
and
being a servant.
yes, being a servant
Being
of,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I tell people
Servant.
about joy all the time. You put Jesus first, others, and then yourself. You'll be surprised how much the yourself part gets blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Cause I can't. I'm trying to think of that scripture of where you didn't feed my I can't think. Anyway, but nah,
That's like that's
that's
the honest truth.
that's no for real.
And like that's one thing, like if especially from this weekly episode, that we want you guys to be able to grasp is, let's start putting others first in everything that we do. Like listen, can we be honest with y'all and just be real with y'all? Like,
Mhm.
listen, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I do get caught up in like, I be forgetting sometimes like how I am versus like how you are,
Okay.
per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, even before we started recording today, like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, before we start recording today, like my wife is, she's as they what they call a stickler for like the particulars. Like 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 you know what I'm saying? Like my wife be like, is the camera like this? Is the camera like that? Like this much light? And I'm like, come on. Like, or for example, like I know sometimes like I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it be my flesh. Like she be like, hey, you wanna go here right now, or you wanna go there tomorrow? I be like, it don't matter to me. Like, and which it really don't matter to me. Like if you guys really get to know me, like a lot of stuff like really doesn't matter to me. I'm like, cool. Like I know what I'm
No,
saying.
I get you. I get
Like I can, like I really go with the flow. Like,
you. Yeah.
listen, like for example, we out with a group of people. Somebody, if they want to go to all sushi or all vegan place, I'm like, cool, let's go. Guess what? I might not eat too much there, but I'm gonna let them have what they want. When I bounce, then I get what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really not that hard to like, deal with when it comes to it. So like when I be telling her like it don't matter to me, like yes, I really feel like it don't matter to me. Like just tell me like, all right, if I can make it work, I'll make it work. If I can't, then cool. Then I'll let you know something. But to understand that, my wife, she might want to answer then and there of me just so. And or like when she might be doing like some of the small things, like I can't get frustrated just because that's not me. Like I
Or how
gotta
you would do
understand,
things.
yeah, or how I would do things. Like I be cool and like, you know,
But
like
that just goes to show, like, one, we just have two different like makeups, just like how we are and how we do things, and that's okay because I feel like we balance each other out.
no, most definitely. But I'm just saying, like to the point of me putting others before myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes that flesh do be like right, like oh, like come on, like
No, for real, he do be like that.
I be like, but
Like, it
what?
doesn't matter.
Like it don't like, cause it really don't be mattering to
It
me.
do though. I mean, to me.
But that's what I'm saying. It really matters to you. So for me, for me to be able to even tell you guys to put others first, then I need to put others first. You know what I'm saying? Which I do put my wife first in a lot of things, but even in the small things, like I can be better. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have improvement each and every day. Like
No, definitely.
y'all really, take that and listen. If we're not improving each and every day, if we being stagnant, guess what we
We
doing?
not growing.
We falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? The devil improving his tools every day. He's sharpening them like this.
Well, he used the same old stuff, but
But what
I
I'm
know.
saying
Yeah.
is, but what I'm saying is,
He
he might
not.
be using the same old stuff, but he coming back harder. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, cause all he needs is for you to fail. Like, you think he not like, so for example, you say he used the same old stuff, but you don't think he might come at you a different way this time? Like,
No,
so
no,
for
definitely.
example, you might be somebody who might struggle with stealing, right?
Yeah.
And at first it was only stealing pieces of gum. Alright, you can be like, hey bro, like I don't need to steal gum no more. But then you know what? Your life might get into a difficult situation with your family. And you're like, you know what? Instead of me relying on God or instead of me being willing to sacrifice some of the things you have in life right now to get things under control again, you might be like, you know what? He might put that seed like, hey, just go rob a bank so you can still live your lifestyle. Or just go do
No,
this.
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like he like, well, let me come at him with something different. Or let me just go steal a few bucks from my mom
Yeah,
or my
no.
grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I'm saying is like we always gotta be on our tools, on our P's and our Q's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta stay sharp. So when, he started ready to fight,
Mm-hmm.
with our sword, hit his sword, it'll break it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell him back off.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to say. You can go.
No, that's good. That's good. Well, praise God, because at first I didn't know what we was gonna come on here and talk about, but
We gotta let
the Lord will lead it. Like,
and we just gotta trust and believe that everything that He has for us, like we don't know, like at the end of the day, listen, this is my prayer that just one person is touched. Like
yeah,
I just want to touch one person, and if we can touch one person, like, and I'm not listen, I can't say nobody, but just if one person is touched, then the Lord can work on you. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord can really do work in you guys' lives to just be able to help you
and
like
complete it.
and complete it most definitely. And that's the whole point of like our podcast is just to be real with you guys, just kind of like really giving you guys an insight on our lives and how things are going with us and how the Lord has helped us or how we can improve. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying, can help you guys improve. But like even with that being said, like you can talk about a few things real quick, but I want to just go to the podcast well on our channel
Okay.
because I know a couple people um left I don't even know how to type it in, y'all. I'm sorry.
You gotta put the at for some reason. I don't know
For
how it
real?
does
Okay, all right. Because I seen a couple of you guys commented on our.
that. Okay, or not.
All right.
Let me see.
Well, my wife's gonna find it for me.
Yeah.
But I see a couple of you guys had.
That's because you spelled you forgot the E.
Oh, my bad, y'all. A couple of you guys commented on the video. All right, there we go. Oh, hold up now. We did 100 views. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right, we got 15 comments. Um, do. Oh, most definitely take a risk. So yes, our last episode we was talking about taking a risk.
Mhm.
And then I thought it was some different comments, but
It must be on the other video.
it might be.
But yeah, no, definitely this
Okay. So I just wanted to answer the one question from our first video.
okay.
Mrs. Fabulous 73. We appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you commenting. You said what made you accept your callings.
Mhm.
So you was talking about like, especially for us. So you was asking us like, what made us accept our callings. So do you want to start or I
You
can
can
start?
start, babe.
All right. So like, just for me to start, right? So me, I personally believe like one of my biggest callings is just to be a great father and a great husband to my family. Like that was one of my biggest things. Like when I was younger, like I dreamed about being married young. I dreamed about having a family. I dreamed about like my family always joke around with me because I used to say when I'm like working before I even was married, and different things like that, I'm like, I gotta feed my family. Like
Mhm.
that's something that I really like took personally. Like I had the opportunity to, see a lot of different, people lifestyles and like how people did things. And like in the Bible, like a man was a provider. And I was like, I want to provide for my family. Like I want to take care of my family. I want to do what I got to do to help them out. Like I want to be able to lead them in the right direction, like lead them to the Lord. Cause it's not just only financially that I wanted to lead them, but even be able to lead them spiritually and just be able to make sure our house was serving the Lord. Like I love it when they say like me and my house will serve the Lord. Like
Wow.
that's 100% true. So like that was like one of my biggest things when it comes to calling. The next thing is to be able to just be a light, and to be a witness to other people. Like I really believe like God has, blessed me with the gift of being able to connect with other
Yeah.
people, and just being able to, talk to them on different stages. Like when I was in high school or like even in college, as most people say, I used to hang out with like I could hang out with the nerds. I can hang out with the popular kids. I can hang out like I go sit at the table with the one kid that's sitting alone. Like that was like cool with me, and I didn't have no shame about it. Like God really, blessed me with a gift to be able to really connect to a lot of different people, and I definitely am able to use that in my walk with Christ to where I'm able to witness to some people who some other people might not be able to witness to just because, like, for example, somebody who maybe you say have fame or different things like that. Some people might be scared to talk to them or like tell them certain things. Like me, like I'll say what I'm gonna say regardless. Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, like I'm also willing to go sit down and talk with the person that nobody wants to talk to. You know what I'm saying? And just be able to like show them the love of Christ. You know what I'm saying? And really be an example. And that's another of my biggest things. Um, is being an example, So I know definitely that the Lord has more things for me, as I keep, growing in life, and more situations that He's gonna put me in. But I definitely believe my calling is, what I'm saying, reaching the lost.
Mhm.
Like, and yes, we all supposed to go out there and witness, but like I definitely believe that I can touch people that sometimes don't get that touch, you know what I'm saying? Or I can connect with the people that sometimes people don't always check on. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that always feel like they got it together.
Mhm.
People don't check on them.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people like, oh, I need
The
to,
strong
yes.
people.
Like a lot of people feel like they only need to check on the people that's like broken. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I need your help. But it's people that's like, that got the strong look and doing what they doing, but really hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's so
So
true.
like I can go touch them, or I can even touch, like, you know what I'm saying, somebody like me, or just a regular person that, like, my wife talk about me being outgoing. Like, I don't always get to see the touch that God has on people, but like, we might be in a grocery store, or who knows, like walking at the mall or something. And like, I'm gonna play a joke, like just to be able to make other people smile and be able to touch people's lives. Like, you just never know what people going through.
No, definitely.
And this world is crazy, so I know a lot of people go through a lot. But me personally, I feel like my calling are those three key things as of right now. Providing and leading my family, um,
Reaching the lost.
reaching the lost, and then also being an example. Like, I think people take for granted like what being an example really does for people. Because one thing the Lord has been showing me as of late is a lot more people are watching than you think are.
Oh no, yeah.
And like me, I'm like, little old me, like, I don't really care about what I'm doing. Like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. But to have God show me that, like, by people coming up and just like, hey, like, I see what you're doing, or like, I heard what you was talking about. Like, I'd be surprised a lot of people, like, actually, you know what I'm saying, are listening to what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. When I get in the zone, I just be rambling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just be talking. But guess what? As I'm just talking and as I'm just rambling, because the Lord is inside me, that's what come out of me. So through all that rambling, the Lord then caught somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like,
Wow.
I'm like, what is them puzzles that you gotta find the words?
Word scramble?
Like, is it
Oh,
like,
Scrabble. No,
no, what,
no. So, I was about to say Sudoku.
you know how it's like a bunch of
Crossword puzzles.
crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
I'm like a,
That should not have been that hard.
I'm just saying, I'm like the crossword puzzle. I'm just
Yeah.
putting all the letters and all the stuff out, and guess what? God just circling the answers for him.
Oh no, that's word search.
Word search. Okay,
Yeah.
word search.
Yeah.
God just putting it together for him. Like, out of everything he said, I love you.
Mm.
Out of everything he said, I'm here for you.
Ooh, come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of everything he said, like,
Yeah.
I'm your savior. I'm
No.
your healer. Like, he just got all these key words that just, what he do? He just perked their hearts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just the guy who just throw it all out there, but God is the one who, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
dive into their heart. So those are my three things.
Wow. For me, I'm gonna try not to stumble through this, but first and foremost, even what you had said, like being a husband and a father, like I do believe God has called me to do that, obviously, because I'm a wife and I'm a
Oh,
mother.
okay. I'm about to say a husband and father. My goodness. Lord,
Boy,
help me.
no.
Help me.
But no, being a wife and a mother, I believe that is, I take that very seriously because I believe that this is my first ministry.
Okay.
This is my first ministry, being a wife and a mother, and God has called me to it. And the crazy thing about it is, like how my husband was talking about how he prayed, like he prayed for his wife, he prayed for his family, but I never really, like, I knew that I wanted it, but I never prayed for it or even thought that I could have it. You know what I mean? Or that I would have it. And so for God to be like, no, this is what I have called you to do, to be a wife and a mother, and
And
it
you
just,
weren't even thinking about me. That's
babe, I know.
crazy, y'all. Like,
But but no, I'm being so honest. Like
yeah.
I didn't, because I know a lot of times it's the woman that I'm praying for my husband, da, 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 but like I never prayed for a husband. Like, not saying I didn't like desire, like deep down wanting like a family, and because I used to always say like, oh, I wouldn't mind, like, cooking for my husband. Like I used to, like, joke and play
Yeah.
around with it, but like I never really thought it was something I could have, because I thought that I was so broken and so this and so that nobody would even, and so for God to be like, no, this is what I
Yeah.
have for you, and I have given you the grace to do it, you know what I mean, like, even because when being a wife and a mother, like, it's gonna be like, for me, it's my first time, you don't know what you're doing,
Oh.
but like I just jumped in that thing, like, and more so with being a mother.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but like stuff just started to click. Like as soon as she came out, like I just know to do this, know to do that. And like not saying that I didn't have people around me to give me wisdom, but like it just was like instinct.
The Lord just already had you built for it.
Yeah.
That's
Like
crazy.
I was literally built for this. Like I know that sounds like, but God literally built me to be a wife and a mother. And yeah. And so that, and then even another reason too is like I ran from my calling for so long, like not even with being a wife and a mother, but just even God calling me out from among them to be separate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was running from that. Like I did not want to be called out to be separate, to be holy, for He is holy, because I just um you know, even though in that place where I was, where He was calling me out from, I wasn't like, I was depressed, I wasn't happy, I was in these cycles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hold on, let me get my thought. Oh yeah, but I ran from my calling for so long to the point to like where I couldn't run from my calling, if that makes sense. Help me out.
No, like
Because
basically,
I like
even for example, so like I can talk about some of the stuff that I feel like, like even for example, singing and to be able to, like, one thing people don't understand, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, like my wife, she is grown and being able to go to another level in Christ. Like I can also tell when like your calling is, you know what I'm saying, like praying and even like setting that atmosphere, like, you know what I'm saying, we ain't even talk about this, but like I peep and I watch game. You feel me? Like God has blessed you to be able to set an atmosphere. Like you're a great preparer. You're a great, as we say, host. You're a great,
and that's crazy too. But.
Like you're a great, as we say, usher. Like ushering in the spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not easy, and that's not everybody's like gift or calling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like me, like I can come and, you know what I'm saying, shut some things down. But I ain't gonna lie to you, like I'm not the best at preparing things. I'm not the best at like even though I watch a lot of stuff, the small things, like I'm not the best at like a lot of the things that you're really good at. So like,
and so even but even with you, okay, I got it now. But even with you saying that, like, yes, so God was calling me out from among them, but I was not wanting to be called out. But then it got to a place where I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
There we go. I had to make a choice, like, okay, choose ye life this day. Like, life for, life for, like, what are you going to choose? And so I had to get to a point to where I made a choice. Like, okay, God, I'm going to answer the call. I'm not going to keep declining you, hanging up, or like, you know how people be sometimes looking at the phone, like, you see them calling, but you like, I don't want to deal with that today.
Nah, you definitely about that.
Yeah, but praise God. To God be the glory. And He called me out from among them, and I came to a place where I said, okay, I'm gonna answer this call. Because if I did not answer the call, this would have never been my life.
No.
This would have never, you know what I mean? I would have never known the depths of what God had for me and what He wants me to do, because you won't know your purpose in life unless you answer the call to the person who knows the purpose in your life, if that makes sense. I know I worded that wrong, but like, and so I had to answer the call. Like it was like life or death for me. If I did not answer the call, like there's no telling where I would be. So
well, to God be the glory. We just thankful. We appreciate you guys giving us some feedback, some questions, some likes, some comments. Keep running it up. We just hit our first 100 view video. We appreciate all the love and support.
To God be the glory.
You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, especially my wife, you know what I'm saying? Look, don't think it's small. I know it's especially even different from me because of my other channel, but like from 40, like each one of you guys, we are appreciative. Like,
I'm just grateful
because if we have 100 active listeners, like, or one person get touched, two, like, that's all that, like, we want from this, you know what I'm saying? Just to be, active, to be able to, just be able to give you guys a little insight on being young and saved.
Yeah.
So we just thank you guys once again. Don't forget to like, comment on our videos. Keep running it up just
Yeah.
so other people can have the opportunity to be able to see what we're talking about. Maybe their lives could be touched. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys share it with a friend. Hey, I know y'all all got them group messages with mom, auntie,
Cause
brother, cousins, everybody like that. So just take the link, send it in them group chats. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Come on. We trying to get into the GCs. You feel me?
the group chat.
Yeah.
Look, I had to think
Hey,
about it for a second. I'm
no,
like the
but yeah, most
GC.
definitely. So we appreciate all you guys'
Yeah.
love and support, for real, for real. Stay tuned. We will be back next week. And that is all from your two hosts over here at the Two Became One podcast.